For over a century, we've been drilling for oil in the land of enchantment, and thousands of those wells have run dry and were never properly sealed, threatening the environment. For the past year, Target 7's been following the state's efforts to seal those wells. It's costing millions, and some say oil companies are being let off the hook. Here's John Cardinelli.
Recently, the state of New Mexico reached a deal with a Texas-based company to seal about 300 of their inactive wells. The state will pay to seal them up front, and the agreement is supposed to repay the taxpayers. But looking at the numbers, it could take 100 years for New Mexico to get repaid. There are more than 1,700 abandoned wells on state and privately owned land throughout New Mexico, and even more on federal and tribal lands. Here's a map of them, and here are some of them from Sky 7.
The extent to which emissions are leaking, the extent to which there's ground or surface water contamination, but they have the potential for all of those pollutants going into our air, land, and water because they are abandoned, because they are not maintained over time.
Tanis Fox is a former deputy attorney general. She's now an attorney for the Western Environmental Law Center. She says most of the wells were owned by companies that have gone out of business over the last century.
I mean, we've been drilling in New Mexico for 100 years, so the abandoned well problem, has been going on, for decades in New Mexico.
For several years, the state has been using tax dollars from a special fund and federal grants to seal them up. Here's what it takes to get the job done. In the end, a marker like this is left behind. Target 7 followed one of the crews 2 years ago.
To plug these wells, we have currently used the Oil Reclamation Fund. The Oil Reclamation Fund is a severance tax on oil and gas, and that's what we have used to plug wells in the past, and sort of depending on the funding that we get, depends on how many wells in the past we have plugged.
Sealing one of these wells costs on average $125,000, money taken from that fund. But about 300 of the wells are owned by Ridgway Oil, and recently the state reached a settlement with the Texas-based company to pay the costs.
They both had issues with inactive wells and then some release and remediation obligations at discrete sites. And those issues prompted us to initiate enforcement.
Dylan Fuge is the Deputy Secretary of the state's Energy, Minerals, and Natural Resources Department. The state cited Ridgway for those violations in April. One of them involved gas that was flaring from one of their wells, and the sides reached this out-of-court settlement.
The balancing act here was between pushing Ridgway, into sort of immediate bankruptcy, where the state would be liable with limited recourse, to at least developing a model where there can be positive cleanup on the ground and the state has some revenue coming in to offset those remediation costs.
Over a year ago, the state received $25 million in federal funds to seal more than 134 wells. But it can't use that money on wells that are owned by active companies.
Had we pushed it to say do it and reach no settlement, the state would have been on the hook.
Under the settlement, Ridgway pays the state at least $30,000 a month. That number could go up based on how much oil they produce on other wells. That means at a cost of $125,000 a well, it could take up to 103 years for the state to get its money back.
I think that it is a poster child for the need for financial assurance reform in New Mexico, so New Mexico protects itself against this abandoned well problem.
Fox has been lobbying for the state to change how much it charges oil companies up front. Under current state law, oil companies have to put up a $250,000 bond when they start drilling, no matter how many wells they dig. But that's not enough money to cover sealing 3 wells. Fox said she doesn't know if all of these abandoned wells will become simply markers in their lifetime.
It takes time, effort, and resources, and it does not happen overnight.
Last year, the state sealed about 150 wells. That was a record, as we had been sealing about 50 a year. If the state can keep that pace, all 1,700 abandoned wells on state and privately owned land would be sealed by 2035. That does not account for all of the wells on federal and tribal lands. For Target 7, I'm John Cardinelli.
The governor's office has said she plans to work with lawmakers this session to make changes to the state's Oil and Gas Act that would also include requiring companies to place wells further away from schools. If you have tips for Target 7, call the Target 7 tip line 505-884-6347 or by email newstips@koat.com.